All right, man. Torture talk. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So look, today we're going to be talking about country music versus rap music, the genres, Tommy Morrison, and a bunch of different things. Before we get into that, I got to get my spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content that's absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, links is on the screen. Cash App, PayPal is in the description. They call me the Hidden Gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to over 11,000. Should be 1 million by Monday morning. And let me know where you're from, too. I really appreciate it. I really will repeat. Blah, blah, blah. I really will. I'll appreciate it so much. Thank you. So let's get into it, man. This clip comes courtesy of Moni. You know what I mean? Chilling with Moni. We love her over here. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all subscribe to her channel if you haven't already. So look, we be back. All right, so let's go, man.
Hey cousins, welcome back to the crib. My name is Moni. If you are new here, please be sure to smash that like button. Y'all already know the goal is always 100 or more likes. Also, if you haven't already, please join the Discord, because if we're not on the channel or the community tab, we are in the Discord talking about various things. So don't be out the loop. Join the Discord. It is free. And today, let's get into Tommy Richman for a second. If you weren't aware, Tommy Richman blew up for his $1 Million Baby song on TikTok. The song has had decent success on the Billboard.
I don't know. Well, maybe through TikTok, but to be fair, that song was really big. And the song is fire. Ain't gonna lie, the song's fire. But it was a pretty big song, and not just only on TikTok. I think a lot of songs go on TikTok after, or it catch on, do like a little trend or something. But I don't think it necessarily blew up because of TikTok. And I know that's not what she's trying to say, but I'm just put my peace of mind out there. Let's keep it going.
100, peaking at number 2 back in May, I believe. The track also it led the Hot R&B Songs charts for 15 plus weeks, the Hot R&B Hip Hop Song charts for a long time. I don't remember how long it was, but he's been holding steady, $1 Million Baby. Point is, the song has had success in the urban chart categories. So imagine our surprise, unprovoked, when Tommy Richman took to his ex, formerly known as Twitter account, on a random Wednesday evening to let the world know he was not a hip hop artist.
Now, there's a couple of things that I feel about this statement. And I'm going to get into it a little more deeply. I'm going to get into a little deeper dive into it later on in this episode here. But fuck him. We can't allow things like this to happen. If he say he's not a hip hop artist, then we have to hold his feet to the fire about it. I advocate that if you say you're not a hip hop artist, then you should be removed from all categories that are hip hop or a subgenre of hip hop. They should take you out. And the only reason why most artists nowadays, these artists are saying they're not hip hop, is because hip hop isn't on top anymore. And I'll get into that. But let's keep it going, Moni. Let's go.
Who asked you this? What are you doing? Where's your team? And after getting dragged and questioned in them Twitter streets, as the online discourse was not in his favor, and his fans he just gained was not pleased with him being dismissive of the genre that's embraced him, Tommy decided to retract his statement, claiming, "I was just playing, y'all. My bad. I didn't really mean that I..."
Nah, bro. That's not what he said. What did he say? What did he say? I meant to say I'm solely not hip hop artist. Let's keep it going.
That I wasn't hip hop. I mean, I wasn't solely a hip hop artist. Now, in my opinion, when hearing the song, I never took the song or Tommy Richman as being a hip hop artist. Maybe R&B, he a little spicy white, might have a little John B to him, little Robin Thicke, Justin Timberlake, but not as good. Could be.
Nah, I don't even take him like them. I don't I Another thing we got to stop doing, we got to stop comparing white artists to white artists. I mean, again, that's just my opinion. I'm not going to compare him to them because they're white. No. But I also believe that Million Dollar Baby, it sounds like something from the 80s or something. And it doesn't sound like something that they would do. John B would never do a $1 Million Baby. Robin Thicke wouldn't do no $1 Million Baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He don't sound like that to me. But let's keep it going.
Hip hop sound basically, but never hip hop. But they still had this song in the hip hop categories playing on the urban radio station. So my opinion is though, Tommy, based on your
Well, the reason why that is because of the sample. You know what I'm saying? Dun, 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 dun. You gotta understand that hip hop is the biggest genre still. Even though it's not doing as well, it's still the biggest genre. And on top of that, if hip hop right now is pop music, let's be clear here. Hip hop is pop music. It's the popular genre. So when you hear stuff like the sample that's being played in that song, I don't know the same, baby. It sounds like R&B hip hop ish. You know what I'm saying? Cause I wanna make it $1 million baby. Hell no. The city, it sounds like a hip hop R&B type song. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it sounds like. So I understand why it would be in those categories, but I'll get into why I think that what he said is very important. And yeah. So let's keep going.
initial tweet and not you correcting yourself once it got hot in the kitchen. If you feel you are not a hip hop artist, why are you and your team and label allowing your music to be pushed in that related category? You've amassed all of these streaming success, all of these opportunities under the urban category, but you don't want to be labeled it. Mind you, although I think it was stupid, I respect Tommy Richman for outing himself. Thank you. Because far too many times we see artists like Tommy Richman, Post Malone, etc., a spicy white, use hip hop and R&B as their stepping stone to success and just abandon it for the genre that they really want to be a part of, which is typically a pop or a country music genre. But
Okay, so there's a bunch of different things that I agree with and disagree with what she said. One, I do agree that these artists do use the hip hop genre as a way of as a stepping stone, which I totally disagree with. I don't think that they should be doing things like that. So I don't think that um I don't think that they should be doing that. But at the same time, you have to understand the music industry is the music industry, right? And we allowed this to happen. And I say that, and I'm going to get into a little more into that in a second. But as hip hop gatekeepers, the fans, we allowed this to happen. We allowed this to happen. So, um, but I understand why they do it because it's just a money grab or it's a way they can get themselves out there. And hip hop is one of the genres that's easy to get into. But let's keep it going.
after all of that, I'm not a hip hop artist. Tommy and his team decided he was just playing, and I'm going to stick around with the urban crowd to try and win some awards. Tommy and his team decided to submit $1 Million Baby for Grammy consideration in hip hop rap categories. Best rap
Oh,
song, best
uh,
melodic.
okay. Well, now I'm on your side with this one, Moni. I am. But you did admit we can acknowledge that his song was on the hip hop category in Hot 100s and hip hop. What's the name? We have to admit that it was there. So why wouldn't he submit it? He has to submit it because it was there. But at the same time, I'm standing on your side with it because if you are really not hip hop, then why would you submit your song? You know what I'm saying? But I understand why he submitted it, because it was being played in the hip hop category. You know what I'm saying? So I think that him saying that was stupid, and now he looks stupid, and he might have just ruined his career from doing something like that. But let's keep it going.
Rap song? Tommy, what's going on? So it's let's dismiss the culture and exclude ourselves as not being a hip hop artist, but let's creep back around the corner to collect some awards. Best rap song, best melodic rap song, or best melodic rap performance. Are those not hip hop categories? Are Tommy and his team confused? How do you denounce being a hip hop artist or solely a hip hop artist? Your album flopped. We saw those 3.4 units first week sales. We saw them. Do you not understand the category that you're in?
What do you mean his album flop? Did his album flop? 3.4 million? 34? I don't know. I don't know if his album flopped or not. I don't know. I mean, if that song probably went platinum. So all it takes is one song for your album to be successful nowadays. I don't know. Maybe she has more information than me about that, but I don't know what he sold.
You don't want to be known as a hip hop artist so bad. He didn't include $1 Million Baby on his album. He thought his brand was big enough than $1 Million Baby. Now he's backpedaling his privilege and mediocrity in a predominantly Black category in hopes of winning. The privilege to pick and choose must be amazing. And this takes me back to a discussion I had with Curtis King on.
But again, I guess I'm going to let her finish, but I'm going to explain why that's not his fault. But I'm going to let her finish. In fact, you know what? I'll explain it now because I don't know what she's going to say. The reason why that's not his fault is because us as hip hop gatekeepers, we allow this shit to happen. We let these artists come in. We don't hold them to a different standard. That's the reason why. It's easy for guys like Tommy Richman to just walk in here, walk into hip hop and do hip hop music, because us as the gatekeepers of hip hop, that's the fans, we allow it. And guess what? We dance to it and we move to it. We don't say, no, this is not good. No, you can't come in here with this. You go somewhere else with that. We support it. We listen to it. We don't turn it away. Maybe that's the nature of Black people, or the culture, that we embrace a bunch of different things. Maybe we do embrace things that we shouldn't be embracing. But you see what happens when you do that. What happens? You get people like him who disrespects the culture. You get people like Post Malone who disrespects the culture. I would never listen to another Post Malone song, ever. Never, ever. I never really liked him anyway. But we allow this behavior to happen. And then they come in and then they do whatever they want and say whatever they want. And then all of a sudden they act like, oh, why does everybody hate me on that side? Because we was welcoming for you to come in, even put the mat down for you to walk in with your shoes on. We didn't even ask you to take your shoes off. And you came in and just was disruptive. In fact, you wasn't even disruptive. You came in and you didn't I guess you didn't feel as though that it wasn't going the way you wanted to go. And now you leave and then you talk shit on us when you leave. So let us go.
His platform. I will link that below somewhere in the description. We had a discussion that we as a culture do a very bad job of gatekeeping. Do we need to bring gatekeeping back? For years, we allow any and everyone, Post Malone, Miley Cyrus, Tommy Richman, hell, we can take it back to Kid Rock. Machine Gun Kelly was just performing at the People's Choice Country Awards. We allow any and everyone to come over to this side, get off, inviting them to imaginary cookout. They collect the praises and the awards and say, that's enough of the niggatry. I'm done.
But all right, so this is the thing too, and I wish people stop doing this. I wish people stop making hip hop and country compete. This is two total different genres. They are not the same. They might fuse once in a while or cross over a little bit, but they're not the same. And I'm not blaming Moni for this, because all of us do this. Even me, sometimes I did that. You know what I'm saying? But I had to understand, why are we always doing that? We always thinking because it's not the genre. of country music. It's the artist who decides that they want to go and do something somewhere else. Machine Gun Kelly, he didn't do country music. He went to punk rock music. They jump to any genre that they feel as though it's easy for them to get into. Country is different, because I can almost guarantee you that it's not easy for you to get into country music. It's not. You can't just walk in there. They have a tight knit. That's how we should be in hip hop. But we are so welcoming. We open our arms and let everybody in. Oh, come on in, bro. Come on in. What you got? What you got for me? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. We just welcome them in, and they come in and use it, and then they leave. But these people are grifters. That's what they do. All these artists that she's bringing up, every one of them are grifters. Kid Rock is a little bit different, because Kid Rock, he did a bunch of different things. He has an extensive catalog of things. Now, I know people don't like Kid Rock because he supports Trump and all that stuff, but that's a little bit different from this guy here. You know what I'm saying? He's not the same, but that's neither here or there. I'm just saying, it's the same thing.
YouTube, don't yellow mark me. But I'm ready to get back to who I am. I'm a pop star, a country artist. I've gotten all I needed from hip hop and R&B. That's what they do. But mind you, artists like Beyonce, Texas born and raised, been doing country music since she was yay high, put out country music, had the best-selling country album of 2024. And
I don't know if Beyonce's been doing country music. I never heard a country album from her except for the one she just put out. So I don't know if she's been doing country music. Maybe somewhere, I don't know. I have all her albums. I heard all her albums that she put out, studio albums she put out, from Destiny's Child all the way up to Sasha Fierce, Dangerously in Love, I Am, was it I Am Sasha Fierce? What's the one? A B-Day, all them joints. I have all her albums. The one with Partition on it, that's the best album she ever did. I have all her albums, and none of her music was country. Now, I understand what you're saying. This is new, and she's from Houston, she's from Texas. But again, we're gonna get into that, and I'm gonna explain why that is. But keep it going.
it's 0 nominations at the Country Music Awards. Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter was completely shut out the Country Music Awards, and they told her to come over here and put in work before you can be acknowledged.
So that's exactly what I was saying earlier. So y'all can't be holding country accountable for something that these artists do. And I know that's not what she's saying. I'm just saying, most people, they be holding country music accountable for something that these artists been doing. It's the same thing. Now, it might, this is what makes me mad. Post Malone comes in. I don't know if he got nominated. I don't know. If he did, that's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Because how are you going to nominate Post Malone but not nominate Beyonce? And they both did country albums. Now, I will say this about the country genre. They don't just allow anybody to just walk in there. Now, maybe they do to certain people, certain pigment. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But if they, let's just say hypothetically speaking, they don't. They usually want you to put in work before they actually acknowledge you, because they want to make sure that you are doing this because you're doing this because you really want to do it, not because of grifters. I think that hip hop should be the same way. We should have been like that. We shouldn't allow people to come in just to come in. They should have to work their way to get to where they need to be. Instead of them constantly just coming and doing music over here and then leaving the genre behind when they feel as though it's not enough of them. But the thing is, They're going to do that with anything. And it's not even just the artists. This is the record labels that make these decisions. And the record label pushes these artists to this way and that way and this way. Oh, we're going to do this type of song. We're going to do this type of song. That's what they do. So this is a very, very good conversation here.
Beyonce, please stop playing with me. They refused to acknowledge Lil Nas X when he had Old Town Road until Billy Ray Cyrus stepped in and got on the remix. And even
and you have to understand, right? Now, I don't know if this is a black or white thing, but let's say for argument's sake, if Billy Ray Cyrus was to make a rap album, would you take him serious? That's the question. Would you take him serious? And on top of that, most, I hate to interject this into it, but it's the truth. Most country people who run country music are conservatives, and Lil Nas X ain't conservative, not at all. He's dancing with the devil, giving the devil lap dances, stuff like that. Nobody wants to be a part of that. Like, come on. You know what I mean? And it goes beyond that. And I really don't want to really speak too much into that, but let's just say most people don't want to see that. So I can understand why they wouldn't acknowledge him as a country artist. You know what I'm saying? When he's saying certain things in a song that they don't appeal to. You know what I'm saying? Take my down to the Old Town Road and ride till I can't no more. Like, come on, man. You know exactly what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And people don't want to just acknowledge that part. I do agree with you on what you're saying about maybe it's the skin color thing. Maybe it is. There is some because there's not a lot of black country artists. It's really not. Let's just be clear here. There's some, but it's not a lot. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot. Or at least, well, the ones we hear is not a lot. But there are a lot of I would say it's the same thing when it comes to rap. There's not a lot of white rappers that are successful in the industry. Maybe about 10, but it's not a lot. But I wouldn't take Garth Brooks or whoever else serious if they did a rap album. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand why that is.
it was noted in the rap categories, not the country categories. They refused to allow that. But mind you, Post Malone, who released music, who joined country music at the same exact time as Beyonce, put out a country album for the first time this year, and he received nominations. So what's the difference?
Now, again, I'm going to go back to what you just said. I 100% agree with that. That's bullshit. And that's our fault. And I know a lot of us don't want to hear that, but that's our fault because we allow people like Post Malone to just drift his goofy ass in here. We got to stop that shit. We can't allow that shit to happen. And on top of that, there's really no country artist trying to be rap artists. You know what I'm saying? There's really not. There's not a lot of country artists trying to be rap artists. So I don't know, maybe Post Malone doing what he do, maybe it's a little more I hate to say it like this because I'm kind of like backed in a corner with this one. And I gotta kind of admit it. That is some racist shit. I try to get around it, but it's really some racist shit. Whoever's running that shit, they're allowing this white man to do country music after he did country music and Beyonce came in and had a country album and you didn't nominate her. That is, whether you like it or not, whether you want to say that it's not, that's some racist shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of put it that way. Unless you're going to give me a valid reason of why you didn't nominate Beyonce, but you nominated Post Malone. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't make sense. And then on top of that, it's certain things that you wouldn't, take it down. Beyonce isn't a raunchy singer. She don't sing maybe certain songs, but most of her music isn't like that. You know what I'm saying? For her to do a country album and not be nominated, that just goes to show you that there's some people still in higher ups that just don't think that certain black artists belong in country music. Now that there's one guy who's in country music right now, Shabuzi, he been number one and he's still number one. And maybe that's the reason why, because the song been running for so long, they kind of had to, you know, but country music is a genre that I would say is right under hip hop. And whoever's running country music, they probably looking at hip hop as a genre that is out of control. And they kind of don't want hip hop artists to filter into their music. They want to keep it separate, because once because hip hop is a genre that confused with any genre. And that's just the reason. That's the reason why hip hop to me is the best genre of this decade, is because it confused into anything you think of, because it's all about rhythmic patterns. You know what I'm saying? And every song has a rhythmic pattern. Every genre, every song has a rhythmic pattern. So they all have a rhythmic pattern, and hip hop can jump into that and say some words and rhyme some words, because most songs, even if you're in country, the way you catch somebody's attention is you sing something that rhymes, essentially, because it's a melody. It's something that is repetitive and goes back and forth from someone's head. You know what I'm saying? You have to say it over and over again. Some people just say one word and don't have to rhyme, and that sticks in your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, they not like us. That sticks in your head. There's no rhyme to that. There's no pattern. But certain songs people do, and they just repeat the pattern. But I understand exactly what she's saying here, and I agree. But there is some racial undertones there, or there is some I don't know how to even put it, because I'm trying to throw people some bail, because I don't like to run to that whole racism argument. But this one here is clear as day. This is a white man who just put out an album that was country and he was nominated, and this black woman put out an album that was country and wasn't nominated. How do you explain that? They're both big artists. They both do fairly good work for whoever they're doing it for. And I would say that she's better than him, 100 times better than him. But for some reason, why is that? She's from Texas. She's from Houston, right? I don't know where he's from, but that's the point I'm making. Like, and then when people say, "Well, how is it racism?" For all the people that's white that's watching my show, I want y'all to understand, right? And I'm gonna give y'all some game. You have to know how to read the room when it comes to black people, right? And look at some of the things that is being said and done. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's completely racist, because some things are not racist. Some things are just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you have to ask yourself, without it being a sexist thing, right? How is it that one person that's a different ethnicity get a privilege over another person that's a different ethnicity that does the same exact thing? How is that? Was it? If they explained it to me, if they came to me and said, well, the reason why she didn't get nominated is because she didn't submit her songs. Okay, cool. And that could be possible, because Shabuzi is nominated and he's going to win all the awards there. And he's black. But I don't know. It just has to be explained. And I think some of y'all, I think a lot of white people live a way of just, they look at it from the point of view of they don't see nothing wrong with this, because we all American and that's what it is. But you have to understand, there are we have this generational trauma that we're dealing with. And it is what it is. And without using a victimization card, I'm just saying we do have generational trauma that we're dealing with throughout. And we see certain things, we have names for it, like the man is holding me down and stuff like that. You know, remember in Living Color when the man, you never seen who the man was, Homie the Clown was like the man, you know what I'm saying? So we know we have this mentality in us that there is some type of boogeyman or racial undertones that's holding us down. This only reinforces that. That only reinforces that when you have people who like Post Malone going into country music and him being a white guy, just shifting from hip hop to country and then getting nominated. That reinforces that. You know what I'm saying? And again, I ain't saying this because I ain't racist, and I ain't saying this to come down on white people. I'm just saying you have to look at it from the point of view of, what if that was you? I give you a perfect example. What if that was what if Eminem was I don't know, what if he was a country music star? You know what I'm saying? And he came to hip hop and he dropped a hip hop album and it was good. And hip hop didn't nominate him but they nominated Shabuzi. He came over to hip hop and they nominated him. That's the same equivalent. And that's what it is. So that's how black people feel. We feel like sometimes we don't, even though, and I have to say this about Beyonce, and I'll get into her in a second. I'll say it in a second, but let me just let her go and then I'll finish it out. Let's go.
I'm not getting it. And while I agree it's not right, I feel it's wrong, you have to respect it to a certain extent. Those other genres know how to put their foot down. You can't even come to the gate before they're turning your ass around and letting you know this isn't your stop. Keep driving north. You're not welcomed here. The same pushback that they have with country music for certain artists, pushback is needed in hip hop as well, to stop allowing artists like Tommy Richman to put out music listed under hip hop categories, amass success, and then say, I'm not that. I'm not hip hop. But then still double back and submit his awards, his consideration under the hip hop award categories. Enough is enough of being welcoming with open arms. If they call you a hater, so what? You're not gonna die. Enough of the pandering and the fake cookouts, because there's always someone in the comment section inviting someone to a cookout.
That's 100% facts. She's speaking facts right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm 100% on board with what she's saying. We constantly allowing people to just walk in this genre. Nah, that's not, we can't do that shit no more. We have to put our foot down like, no, you can't, no. That's not going to hip hop. Nah, that's not hip hop. That's what we got to do.
There ain't no cookout. I knocked the table over. The burgers and hot dogs are on the floor in the dirt. There's no cookout. Enough of allowing Tommy Richman and his team and label to classify him under the urban categories. I need y'all to remember that. When he went and submitted $1 Million Baby to these record labels, they asked him what category they were going to be up under. And that's where him and his team listed them. So I'm tired of seeing the comments of, well, he's not hip hop. Did Tommy and his team know that when they were in those meetings deciding classifications? When they decided to list him on Spotify and Apple next to urban artists when he doesn't identify as such? Let me tell y'all something. This also has another Macklemore, the highest Kendrick Lamar situation written all over it. The Grammy.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about the Grammys. The argument with the Grammys is weird to me with certain people, because the Grammys been hip hop for the last 10, 15 years, maybe 20. Only award that we never receive, never get, is Album of the Year. But most of the categories and most of the performances are hip hop based. That's just a fact. I mean, this whole thing with Macklemore, though, Macklemore, he won that Grammy for Rap Album of the Year, and he inboxed Kendrick and apologized. I don't even know if Kendrick put that out. Maybe somebody else did that. I don't even know. Who screenshotted that and put that out? Was that Kendrick? Or was it Macklemore himself? But let's keep it going.
The Grammy board are still in the voting process, and official nominations aren't until November 8th, right? But if they select this song and that's in this category, just know they are about to be on bullshit. Just know it. I already feel it. I already feel it, cousins. Trust me, it's gonna be some mess. But let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and become a new cousin. Join the Discord because that's what we are usually when we're not on the channel. I appreciate y'all for watching until the end because some of y'all don't like watching until the end, but still want to give your comments in the comments.
All right. Make sure y'all go follow her. Make sure y'all subscribe to her. Yeah, so my thing is, we do have this big, loving, open arm community in hip hop, and I think that we go off of, because see, hip hop was mostly rap based back in the day. It was rap music, then it was hip hop music. Most of us, we was okay with rap, and most people couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But now hip hop has become this thing where it's like, if there's a hit, we want to have it. If it has a beat that can be considered hip hop, we want that. But we don't want to say it's pop, but we want it. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is very confused at this state of its age. To me, it's like hip hop is like a dementia patient right now. Yeah, it's just all over the place. Don't really know where it's at. And I'm hoping that we can get the proper medication to get rid of this dementia. If not, then obviously I don't think you could get rid of dementia, but still in all, that's what it is. I'm thinking like, and we allow this to happen. We have to stop allowing this to happen. Every time we turn around, we allowing artists to just come in and do whatever they want. And this just doesn't go for white artists. We're talking about artists that are just trash, and we just allow them to do whatever they want, and we support it because we developed this thing called don't be a hater. And if you tell somebody that their stuff is trash, you look like the wrong one, even if it's trash. Even if the person that's telling you don't be hating, know it's trash, they just go along with it because we are addicted to numbers. Us as hip hop fans are addicted to numbers. We don't care about the music. We only care about the first week sales. That's it, because that validates us to let us know that it's either it's good or bad. Even if this is good, there's some artists that are really good and they don't have really no good first week sales. But to us, if you're not popular and if you're not putting yourself in a position where you got a million views or a million sales or 500,000 sales or 200,000 sales the first week, to us, even if you're popular, we will say that's a failure. We'll say it's a flop. Like, I'll give you an example. Most artists will never sell over 100,000 copies. If Drake was to sell 110,000 copies, people would say that's a failure because they'll compare his last numbers to his numbers now. But most artists will never sell 100,000 copies. At least the first week, they won't. But that's what I mean. We gauge everything by numbers. We don't care about the quality. We don't care about the quality. Country music, I will say that they care about the quality of the music. You don't hear about country music talking about first week sales. Maybe the whoever's talking about first week sales to bring it up, but country don't brag about their sales. They brag about the songs. That's what they brag about. We need to get back to that. We need to get back to bragging about how good the music is. Because even though we're going through a lot right now in hip hop, there's a lot that we can salvage, or there's a lot that can be changed to make it better. But we gotta stop worrying about these first week sales. That's all we care about. Everything is about numbers. Everything. You go on TikTok. The first thing you look at is how many views it got. You don't even care whether what is being said. You just looking at the views because you don't want to feel left out. You don't want to feel like you're the one who's looking at this and liking it by yourself. We have become this whole nation of validation. Everybody feels as though they have to be a part of something. Instead of saying, I like this. When you were growing up, if one of your friends told you that they didn't like a Jay-Z album, you will go around and say the album is trash because you believe what your friend said. Because the validation from your friend, you got it from him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my friend told me it was trash. You wouldn't even say your friend told you trash. The first thing you say is, well, if somebody be like, yo, I'm thinking about copying that new Jay album. Man, that joint trash. So why you say that? Man, you hear it? No, I ain't hear it. I just know it's trash. My boy told me it's trash. Because we all want to be a collective of ideas that we don't want to feel left out. And everybody cares about numbers. That's all everybody care about. Look at this. The first thing you ask is how many albums is sold, how many hits this person got. You don't care about the quality of the music. It kind of reminds me of how people vote. It's like they vote off emotions and not off of policy, without me getting too deep into politics. But I'm just saying. Either way, man, shout out to Moni. You know what I'm saying? Good content as usual. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to her. All right, man. Y'all have yourself a good morning. See y'all. Peace. Bye.